What is going on, all viewers? Wimkin, Twitter, Rumble, Spreely, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitch. Gosh, it's getting everywhere. Soon, TikTok. Never. I can't stand TikTok, just to be honest with you. I don't think that's ever going to happen. After they ban me, I just got a bad taste in my mouth with those people. But,
whoa. Those people?
Yeah, those Chinese bastards. You know, those commie bastards. You're listening to Still Point back. We're going to get going. It's Monday night. This is one of our busy nights. We are on the precipice of a debate, which should be pretty cool. We'll talk about that tonight. We're going to talk about Chrissy Teigan. Is she a Pizzagate person? We're going to find out. Talk about Mr. Fire Alarm guy. Yeah, I know his name, but I don't care. And then AOC, the full-tittied bartender. I'm talking about her. CNN decides to go ahead and pull the plug on Trump's press secretary mid-speech because she had some negative things to say about Jake Tapper. Maybe Jake was tapping her. That's the reason. Allegedly. Who knows? We'll find out tonight. Livia, how you doing?
I'm wonderful. I'm here.
Leroy?
I am wonderful, Matt. How are you?
I'm good. Amy?
Good. Hi, guys. I'm good. How's everybody?
Hello. We'll be back. 14 seconds. Got a good show tonight. A little bit of stress getting on, but we're doing it now. Make sure you like and share, folks. 14 likes. Come on now. Come on. Let's go. Let's do. The dumb news, folks. Yeah, I know we can't take our cat off. Feel bad. Monthly newsletter, no cat. Quarterly gift box, no cat. We don't have cats at the Dumb Club, but we do have you. You can stop on by, take a look, join our monthly membership. It's pretty awesome, folks. You gotta take a look. 5% back to veterans. We get together every month. We got a call coming up this Saturday. Can't wait to see you then. Stop by thedumbclub.com, thedumbshow.com. Step into a Wimkin, Liv, or are we not live? You gotta tell me these things.
I'm double checking right
Show
now.
with host Matt Spear. You guys can find the show
If you don't
at The
tell
Dumb
me,
Show
I don't
on social
know.
media.
We might be having problems on Rumble.
I don't care about Rumble. I care about Wimkin. That's our focus.
Adjusting transmitter output.
This is the Don't Unfriendly Show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy, Olivia, and Mike. geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on the Spreely.tv network and all major social media channels at The DUM Show.
I'll fix Rumble in a minute. And I care about Rumble. I just don't care
Honest,
right now.
direct, unfiltered.
Please
We
let me
can
know
agree,
if you
we
see
can
anything.
disagree. Just don't unfriend me.
Hold on, everybody. This is going to be a second. We're trying to. I might need to restart, and it's because we have multiple channels down, and this happens from time to time. Update this broadcast only. All right, let's see. Talk to me. Let's see if we can get this thing to fire off. It should be any second now for Wimkin, but I've got to see it first, and then if I see it, we should be good. It'll take a second.
Well, while we have a second, Matt, if I can fill some gray time there, just to let you know, I am about halfway through chapter 1 of Term Limits. So,
Nice.
yeah.
And okay, and
I just, I thought you should know that I was reading the book.
and what do you
And it's
think?
pretty good so far. I really like it.
Pretty good. Oh,
Pretty good so far. I mean, I'm only
Okay.
halfway through chapter 1, so.
I thought you were like halfway through the book. Okay.
No.
Okay, so it looks like it says it's green, and now we've got signal to. Okay, Wimkin's good. Going live because we have multiple channels down. There it
This
is.
happens.
Yep, I see it now.
Okay, going off, hanging up on Wimkin. Leave page. All right, now I got to go fix Rumble now. Jeez Louise. Rumble. Let's get ready to rumble. Sorry, folks. We're almost. It's worth the wait. Kinda.
It absolutely is worth the wait, folks.
We're gonna find out. Tonight's show's gonna be good. It's gonna be a good show. I'm a little fired up. Live streaming. Edit. Podcast. Trending news. Yes. Public. And did the public glitch. There it is. Rumble. We are, well, it's going to be a second, but yeah, we're going to be there. We're live. Welcome to the Don't Unfriend Me show, folks. Can I just say Friday night was, it was incredible. Just real quick, Olivia and I were like, okay, we've got Spreely, which is, it's going okay. I mean, Spreely, they've got a lot of oars in the water right now, and they're trying to get their social. They've got so much going on. Terry's just like constantly working, but it's fine. They're a great platform. If you haven't been over to Spreely.tv, go do that. But just gaining the viewership is what we were hoping for, and it's slow going a little bit. It's just the way it is. It's a very competitive market out there.
Yes,
and although we're seeing ourselves do really well on Twitter now, which is good, that's a good sign. Although we're not gaining any followers because Twitter's algorithm is complete dog shit. But it's nice to see people watching. Surprisingly enough, Twitch was doing okay. YouTube is just
We've got 80 views on Twitter so far.
I know. See, Twitter is doing well. Like he's pushing our live content, which is exciting. But I mean that's ridiculously good. I mean that's amazing.
I thought it was a typo, or because it
it's
said
not.
51 views, and I'm like, I just hit refresh and
Yeah.
it just started. I thought it was an old video. It
Twitter
took me a
does
second.
Twitter does really well, and if you look on Facebook right now, we're at 137 already, and it's Monday. So things are starting to click, right? So people are seeing and they know, and that's great. So the thing is we were feeling a little down. We're like, okay, we lost our Facebook revenue. Everyone knows that was a kick in the junk. We were really making some pathways. We were starting to see us hit that magic number that Olivia and I wanted to hit, so we could start really investing in the show, get a couple writers, which we need on the Dumb News for sure. And help everyone kind of make a little bit of a profit off this and start doing some profit sharing. But it was tough. So Friday we're like, okay, it's like Thursday we were at like $1,300, and we're like, this is going to be a slow month. Okay, let's prepare. Even though it's both birthday months for the kids, this is going to be hard. We'll figure it out. And Friday night, you guys just, I couldn't freaking believe it. We can't thank you enough for the level of appreciation you guys provide, and you do it through dollars. And although that's not the only thing y'all do, it means a great deal. And we've been doing donations for 3 months, and 3 months you guys exceeded it every single time, always early, and you never stop, and we love you for it. So we're at 3769.21. Our goal was 3250. Just to see two people come in and just drop bombs, and then we had like about 20 donations of just $10 here and $20 here and 50, and that is just amazing. So we just want to say thank you, and that's how we wanted to start it off. We greatly appreciate you for that. Okay, good.
That's fantastic. That's awesome.
It is. It feels weird though, right? Yeah. I mean, I don't like asking for donations because it's weird, right? And I had to get used to it. And I'm the guy that gave up my VA benefits, right? I was like, okay, I'm fine now. I don't need my disability anymore. You can take me down to a 10% rating so I can still go into the VA, but I don't need a 90% disabled anymore. I'm good. And they're like, well, you still get a separation of $133. And I'm like, donate that and give it to charity. I don't want it. And so I don't do the donation thing very well, and it's hard for me, but you guys make it easy. So thank you very much.
There's a difference there. You can tell amongst people, the people that are very generous with their time and money, and you can tell that Matt is that kind of person. And we're always they always typically be the last on the list, right? They're the ones that they don't want to necessarily ask for donations or ask for anything extra, but when the time comes,
yeah, we got it. I mean, and everybody transitions, right? I mean, I know what Benny makes every single month from Facebook and Twitter, and he still gets donations. So, and it's kind of like, if that was taking place, we didn't ask for donations for 3.5 years. We had no intentions of doing it. But you guys have been amazing. By the way, linktapgo.com/thedumb show. You can find all of our sites there. If you want to donate, you can do that too. We would greatly appreciate it. Let's get right into it. There's a video that I wanted to dive in. Liv, are we good? We 5x5? No major questions? No birthdays? No nothing like that?
No, but one of our Wimkin followers is going to go see Trump on Friday. That'd be cool to get her to call in.
Wait a second.
Nice.
Where?
I don't know where he is going to be on Friday.
He's in Virginia, isn't he? Yeah. I'm trying to find out where and who this viewer is, and I'll go with you. Let's do it together. I'll go stand out there for 8 hours. I don't give a crap. I've done worse. Wear my combat boots. And Leroy, your lights are off, by the way. Whatever light you always have that makes you look so good, that light's not on tonight. Huh?
Looks like Chesapeake, possibly.
I am asking right now.
Find out where he's at, because I'll go down there with the camera and interview and stuff like that.
Chesapeake, Virginia.
How far is that from us?
Hampton Roads. It's about
it's right between Virginia Beach and here,
hours.
Right? Yeah, it's Virginia Beach. So I went all up and we both know it well. I mean, every time we went up to DC or had to go to the farm or wherever else, we were going up through that area. Which is the longer way to
go, because he's going. I said I'm going to tell Jason to see if he can go, because he's going.
I'll go with Jason. Tell Jason if he goes, I'll go. We'll go Friday. We'll make a day out of it. Honestly, what we'll probably do is just go down and get a hotel room the night before.
Well, he's got a place for you to stay because one of our best friends lives there, so we always stay at his house. So.
Oh, okay.
Well, Thursday's the debate. That would be a really late, long night.
It sure would. Sure would. But we've done it before, so who cares?
Jason's favorite to drive in the middle of the night. So.
It's Donald Trump. I got to work on tickets. So what we might be able to do is I can see if I can make a phone call and get tickets, and we won't have to wait in line, like VIP tickets. Yeah. We'll see what I can do.
Greenbrier Farms.
Okay.
Chesapeake.
Well, let's see what we can do. And if not, we'll have that live. We're going to listen, debate Thursday, folks. It's going to be rock and rolling. Amy, Leroy, if you guys can be here, we'd love to have you here, because it's going to be a raucous night. I mean, this is huge. I don't know if you guys remember 2020, but it was fun.
It was fun. I think I can be here Thursday. Yeah.
If you can,
I can be here Thursday.
I can.
All right, let's do Thursday. All right. Well, we all agree we're going to be here Thursday. I want to show a video now.
Debate's not till 9, so we're not going to probably go live until then.
I'll be live beforehand.
That's past my bedtime. See, I'm kidding. So
it's all pretty much all night. I'll be on at 7, and I'm going to work through the night. So we'll be on the entire time. How much are tickets? Tickets are free. But VIP tickets are like, somebody who knows somebody who knows. All we got to do is call the campaign and say, listen, we've got 200,000 followers. We want to go down there and we want to talk about it and document it. We want to get in, and they're really cool about that. All right, so here's the deal. I won't be able to donate this next month. Too much going on with my brother. He's been doing worse. Deborah, don't even, nobody needs to explain if you can't donate, ever. I'm more concerned about your brother, and Deborah, take care of that and let us know what's going on if we can help. And if there's something we can do, let us know. Everyone here knows that I'm a gamer. And Olivia is a gamer too. We love our video games. And I was a nerd before I went into the jock scene, and I played D&D, and I've always loved wizards and dragons and medieval times and all that shit. I've always been into that. So like World of Warcraft and EverQuest and Diablo, I mean, that's my game. That's my jam, baby. By the way, new game out called V Rising, and holy shit. Hands down, it's a unicorn. It's an 11, and it is the best MMO AORPG. It's the best MMO and AORPG. It's going to expand, and they're going to make it server-based where you're going to see, hundreds of players interacting. But I have never seen a game so in-depth on launch. I haven't seen it since Elder Scrolls Oblivion or Diablo 2, which was perfect on release. Just perfect. And it's V Rising. It's a Dracula-based game. It's cel-shaded with overlaid realistic graphics. The building phases are ridiculous. You can build a giant hectacre castle 6 feet tall or 6 stories tall, and cobblestone and gold inlay and torches, and it's parapets. It's a ridiculous thing, and just do it. It's amazing. If you play video games, you'll love it. All right. It's
Angel's birthday.
Angel's birthday. All right, we're gonna do real quick. Here we go. On the count of 3, everybody. 1, 2, 3. We're gonna do this in a
me. Okay, ready.
That's the pace. Ready? 1. Watch my hands for the rhythm. 1, 2, 3, 4. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Angel. Happy birthday to you. Leroy, you suck. You're so off. I mean, it was just... Amy, you were fine. Happy birthday, Angel. So anyway, I know. I'm going off on this video game thing, but it's a fun game. So a lot of people don't know this about Olivia and I, but we used to have a podcast. Olivia, what was it? What was our podcast?
Nerd Fat Podcast, all about games and movies and stuff like that.
So you guys may or may not know, but I started working at Babbage's, etc., and GameStop, Game Crazy, huge gamer. And I had like the top 10 gamer score on Xbox in the world at one point. There's no joke. It was like me, Stallion88, and a couple of other people. And then I was there, and it was like 165, 175K, and then I had back surgery. So I was off for 2 years, and I literally just played video games. That's all I did. And it was not really conducive to getting better. But we created a podcast, and this podcast went just global. It was insane. We were in Japan. We had people from PAX calling us, Tokyo Game Show calling us.
Gin Blossoms followed us.
Gin Blossoms followed us. We got invited to Star Wars Celebration as honored guests by Disney and LucasArts. Olivia got to go to E3 for free, all expense paid trip. Chris Hardwick sat next to me on a plane and was like, dude, I'm doing something very similar. And I know you're doing great. I mean, Chris Hardwick, if we would have stayed in, we got 150,000 followers in 3 months. It was incredible. Wow. And then Apple said, you can't do that. You have an NDA. And I'm sitting here with $1 million in Apple stock. And I'm like, can't do this. I can't lose this job. So we scrapped the podcast and we went dark, and people were just like, they still recognize Olivia.
Oh, yeah, that's true. I actually, somebody at the grocery store a few months ago somehow dropped the name, and I was like, oh, that was our podcast, because they were talking about movies. And he's like, oh my gosh, I've never met a real celebrity before. I was like, holy cow.
Hold on, we got a caller already. Hold on. Caller, what's going on? Hey, caller, what's
Kraft?
Hello?
Daryl Kraft, can you hear me?
Hi, Daryl, what's up?
No, not too much. I just wanted to say I called in last week to the program and I was doing some of my comedy or whatever.
Okay, so I just hung up on that douche plow. So I'm telling a story, bro. Sorry, and you're a troll. So I don't have time for it. So here's the thing that I'll say. There's a guy called Dr. Disrespect, and he's been doing this since 2000. Okay, he's off. Bye, dude. All right. So Dr. Disrespect. Speaking of disrespect, so he's been doing this since 2009. He's got a wig. He wears wraparound sunglasses. He wears like a neoprene suit, tactical suit with suspenders. He's a dork. But the guy is actually extremely good looking. He's cut like a freaking rock. He's a golfer extraordinaire. He skydives. The guy's just a good dude. He's just a one of those guys. But he's hilarious and he plays video games and he's a millionaire. And there's no doubt. His brand is like all over the place. But he's really disenfranchised. And I don't want to speak for him. I want you to listen to it. And it's truly heartfelt, because if you know this guy, he's kind of just in your face and always funny, and he plays like he's pissed off, but he's not. It's just part of the character. But I saw this and it bothered me, and it's not because of any other reason that I know exactly how he feels. I know exactly how this guy feels. Let's go ahead and watch it.
When shit like this happens over the weekend, and it just kind of, it's like, how many times can I I don't, like, I'm actually tired of being on social media, and I've expressed that over the years, champ. So I just, I've always kind of hinted like it'd be nice to get off and just completely separate, right? Go live in Costa Rica or something. I don't know. But I'm just feeling burnt out, I think. I came into this with, when did we start streaming, champs? 2015, 16? Been doing this since 2009. Different scene back then, having a good time, playing the games that were fun to interact with and create content with. And over the years, it's just gotten, I don't know, like it's been drained out of me. It's being drained out of me. It's being drained out of my family and I. And I just feel like
I will tell you that you're like, what the hell happened? You're going to find out. And it's serious. Like, this is not, it's not funny. And this happens every day. It happens every day to me. And people say things, and I just don't care, right? And I'll never care, because I just don't have that gene. He does. This guy's a caring guy. He plays a guy that doesn't have feelings, but he does. I don't. I just don't care. And it's wearing on him, and you'll hear why. Here you go.
I had the mindset of let's just see what happens today. How are we feeling? And I'll tell you, I just, I don't know. I'm just feeling burnt out, Maybe it's time to start something new, something different. Challenge those creative senses, a desire to explore different realms, if you will. But I think the first and foremost, though, is, I did have a sort of a planned vacation coming up. And I think I might just extend that starting now. One of these, let's take a step back. I mean, it is what it is. People get fatigued, right, champs? And to be honest, I don't know how long. You know, I know where my vacacion, how long my vacation is, but you know, maybe I extend that. We'll see. We'll see. But I do appreciate you guys, champs. Right.
The interesting thing is that I'm going to tell you what, because I haven't watched the whole thing. I just turned this on, and people are accusing him of grooming children online.
Whoa.
Wow.
I've watched this guy for years. He's never done anything like that, ever. But they're saying he's using his prowess as a gamer to groom kids. And you know it's somebody who's jealous. You know it's somebody like me who just slams somebody online. And, you know, I have my haters. I've got one that calls me right now. He won't stop fucking calling me because he gets his pussy hurt because of Nick Fuentes, pardon my French. And I got my stalkers, and I've got guys who have threatened my family, and I get death threats, and I get it. But for someone to accuse him of that, like I got accused of being a Zionist and a Jew lover today. And I'm just like, guilty. I'm fucking guilty. Guilty. And you know, and you might as well call me an N lover too, because I'm there. You know, I love people. I don't like how I am with people, so that's why I stay away. It's more me than them, but I love people. I really do, and I love engaging with people. But to see this, for them to break this guy, and he'll be back, right? But to see that happen, it's such a ridiculous statement. And this is happening every day. There's people who come on the show who just purposely want to destroy me.
Right.
And I love it, but I'm a rare breed. Most people, like, it took me, Olivia will tell you, man, and I took that shit personally the first 2 years. Like, people would say things and I would let it affect me. I don't do that anymore. It's just people say something. I'm like, what? You don't know me.
Right.
You don't define who you don't define who I am. And Leroy told me all the time, and he'd say, you give them the control to do that. And I'm like, oh, come on, whatever. He's like, people can't make you feel a certain way. Only
it is true.
Like, I'm like, shut up, Leroy. He's fucking, that's a Hallmark card. He's right. He's right. He is right. People, once you have that, you know who your friends are and you know who loves you, you don't need anything else. Let's finish watching this, and then I want to get feedback, because I think people are going, why are we watching this? This isn't political, because it's a human moment. That's why.
And look out for the socials. I'll keep you updated when we'll be back. But I definitely need to take a break from everything, you know? Start a podcast. I think what I'm most interested in, and believe it or not, champs, because...
And I got to play Elder Rings like tomorrow, but I can't because V is so good. But Elder Rings came out too. Folks, I'm going to be taking a break for about 90 days because I have so many games that I have to play. And then season 5 of Diablo is coming out. Olivia's a little bored right now. I am too. I'm not going to lie. We've done everything you can possibly do in Diablo, and we're ready for the next phase. But we're going to be busy. Almost done.
See, when you're a top tier gamer like me, when your gaming skill set is just incredible, and you know, you look like this, you know, why wouldn't you want to be in front of the camera all the time? But I'm kind of, I'm exhausted in being in front of the camera. I'm exhausted being on socials. The industry's changed so much. Just so much different energy out there, negative energy and clashing, and from everything that we've experienced since we've started this whole journey together, you know what I mean, champs? And I'm just like, when I go outside, I just feel so much better. When I remove myself, I just feel, what the hell is this, you know? So that's all I'm gonna say. Keep playing, Doc. We don't care. The fuck? Okay. Grief Warden, thank you for the $25 donation. Big Bearded Scotsman, welcome. Payback, thank you for the 46 months.
That's what got me. And this is where I stopped. Is that the guy is like, somebody's like, we don't give a F, just stream. And he's like, okay. Exactly. So the point is, he's thanking $25 donations. This guy's worth millions. And he's thanking $25 donations still. I don't care how goofy you think he is. He's got a shtick. He did something funny. He put on a wig and a pair of glasses and it's stuck and now he can't get rid of it. Think how Tim Pool feels. He's got to wear that effing beanie everywhere.
That hat,
Yeah.
Everywhere. That's why I don't have a shtick. I'm in shorts and sandals. I'm set. If I've got, hey, I'm going out. Sweet, I'm ready to go. Olivia and I got a big date. Olivia's ready. I'm ready. Let's go. But the whole point of this, and I want to chat about this, is somebody went ahead and decided to go ahead and create a campaign to destroy this guy, because the one truth is this, is that they will prop you up and give you the keys to the city, and then they will hang you with them.
Yep.
And this is what happens. And it's terribly sad. And it's not just the sad music from Elder Rings, which is a beautiful soundtrack, but it's fitting because it seems like this is almost like an epitaph. But he's going to take a break. At least he says he's going to take a break. And it's because of fatigue. So here's the question. Is if this is happening online, this has to be happening in the workplace. This has to be happening in our families. This has to be happening all the time. How are we escaping it? How are people taking a second and going, I'm just going to get away. And I don't care what it is, but I'm going to stay off social media. I'm going to put my phone down. And can I do that for 20 hours? Just walk away. Carrie, thank you so much.
Thank you, Carrie.
Thank you.
Thank you, Carrie. What are you guys doing to keep your mental health strong? Because you guys don't get all the flack that I do. And there's a reason why. It's because I won't allow it. And second, you guys aren't constantly on Facebook and getting involved. You guys are involved in Dumb Nation and stuff. But what are your thoughts?
Do you want me to go first? Because
sure, I don't care. Anybody can go first. This is a free for all.
Well, most people know I was pretty much forced to take a break from social media. However, I was fine with it, other than the fact that it does directly correlate with how much business I do. Thankfully, I've done this long enough that I don't have to rely on social media to grow my business. Thank God for that, or I would be broke and panhandling, literally. So I was, So I was pretty not forced, as in you have to do this, but forced as in I have to protect myself and my family. However, I have been told
Thanks, Kev.
a couple months ago. Thanks, Kevin.
Thanks, Kevin.
That I could safely integrate back into social media. However, I tried, and I genuinely I struggle with social media because I don't have an interest in it. I like it for the fact that for why it was created, to check up on people once in a while. Thanks, Amy.
Thanks, Amy.
Thanks, Amy.
Thank you, Amy.
The other Amy. I like to jump on every couple of months and check on my friends that I don't see every day, and check out their photos and connect. Oh, hey, how was your, and then I'll text them too. I'm not going to just like message them online. So for me personally, I think social media should, I don't know. I'm not young, like the younger, my kids would love it if they were allowed to have it, but they're not. But to the point of this man, I don't know this man. I've never heard of him. I don't know what he even does. It sounds like he plays video games for a living online.
That's what he does.
My son is always trying to watch YouTube secretly because I don't let them. And that's what I catch him doing. He's watching people play video games online. And I always say to him, why are these adult men advertising to kids? because that's what the games that he watches are kids games, like truly kids. So I'm always like, heck no, I don't know what their motives are. I don't know these people, turn it off. So I don't know what I don't know what he's done. I know nothing about him. I'm not accusing him of anything. I'm not suggesting he's even trying to do anything, but I do question the motives of adults who are catering to children online. And I don't let my kids watch anything like that personally. But he might be playing adult games. I don't know. Again, I'm not trying to suggest anything. I'm just saying
it's a very valid point, Amy. I don't know the guy, but I know that he doesn't play kids games. He plays adult. Well, but see, here's the problem: is that kids play all games, including adult games nowadays. But those parents don't care about those kids anyway.
Right. Allegedly.
Let's be honest. So go ahead. Finish your thought. It's a good thought.
That was it. I mean, that's really it. I hope everyone can take a break from social media. I think it's wonderful, but I think I'm also built a little differently. I get my connections from being with people. I love to be with people. I'm always doing something. If I posted about my life, you would think I'm the most interesting person in the world because I do a lot every single day, but I don't think it's worth sharing, and I don't think people genuinely care about it. And it feels a little inauthentic. Like you were saying, you don't want to ask for donations. I don't want to ask for likes and thumbs up on my picture. You know what I mean? Like that feels weird to me.
Yeah, I just gave up with that. I don't think I've been on my personal Facebook page in like 4 years. I just don't. Right. And I probably should because personality, I guess, and I should probably do more with it. But yeah, it's crazy. And you know, Kyung makes a really good point. He says adults create YouTube because little kids can't create YouTube channels due to age restrictions, especially some of the games. And it's a different world.
Right.
Truly, like when I play video games and I go online, you're playing against kids. It's just the way it is. And so there's kind of just this whole thing where it just everybody plays, and it doesn't matter if you're boy or girl or straight or trans or black or white or Jew or Gentile, and it's because we're nerds, right? And that's the mentality. And I've always said I've always loved being a nerd because I'm 6'4" and 225, and anytime you want to call me a nerd, I'll take you out back and beat the living shit out of you with a game controller. But I understand that. So hey, and maybe he is doing this. Maybe there's proof, but nowadays, when our first reaction is instead of to defend him, it's to accuse him. And I'm not talking about you, Amy. I'm talking about the people who are interacting. To me, there's something wrong. The presumption of innocence is dead in this country. And it's only alive for those we like. And that's what's terrible. It's like people are like, Joe Biden's guilty, but Donald Trump is completely innocent. Well, Donald Trump is guilty, but Joe Biden's completely innocent. And that's not presumption of innocence. That's cherry picking based upon your personal emotion and your feelings, not facts. Leroy, your thoughts on this, then Olivia.
Well, I think Amy hit pretty much the major talking point. The main difference that you see amongst people like us and a lot of the other people that are on the rest of social media, InstaFace and whatever the F-gram and all that stuff, it's age, right? We grew up in a time where, social media wasn't a thing. If you wanted to be social, you actually had to go to your next door neighbor's house or go to your friends and go to the party. It's not like that now. And so there's a lot of that where I can kind of, it's easier for me to separate. Whereas a younger person, because it's something that they've grown up with, it's part of them now. And so all the insults that come online are taken a lot more seriously. And people know that I don't use my real name. This is what people see on here is not my real name, and that's intentional. Matt was asking about how you shield yourself in terms of social media. And quite honestly, I don't use my real name. Mostly I stick to Facebook. I don't use a lot of the other platforms. But what I do like to do is to go onto the adversarial sites. So I will go onto Democrats.com or, socialist, whatever I will visit those pages and try to make my points legit. And I don't take the insults. To heart. To Matt's point, these people don't know me. It's just that I know how to debate the left. And so what I try to do, and it doesn't always work, What I try to do, though, is I try to keep my points more substantive, more, more truthful in nature, and try to steer clear of the insults. I'm not always successful. Sometimes I let myself devolve a little bit. Yeah, but I think the biggest factor there is age.
Yeah. By the way, welcome to the 113 plus on Twitter watching, because this is a hot topic and for those who are watching because you saw Dr. Disrespects and you're one of the people who are trolling him and saying he's a groomer and a pedo and he should be arrested and killed. Please do this to me just so you can see how you should react to these things. I would love for one of you to try, because I will do the opposite. What if he does? And I don't know, man. It's happened before. As people have come on and tried to say things and accuse me of things, and I just bring the receipts. Right. And I'm an open book. You want to see? You're going to tell me that I've surfed porn? You're right, I have. Openly admit it. Of course I have. I'm a man. Anyone who says they haven't, that I was addicted to pills? Yes, I absolutely was. That I was a shitty husband for a long time? Sure. That was true. That I would raise my voice at my kids and I shouldn't have? Yeah. There's a lot of things that I've done that I'm not proud of. That I was a glutton and I treated people like shit. Everybody knows. Why? Because I openly admit it. Because I've got nothing to hide from you. And anything that you don't know about me, it is classed at a level that I can't talk about. Otherwise, I'll tell you everything you want to know. Because there's no shame in being a sinner. There's no shame in making mistakes. The only shame that you should have is when you haven't acknowledged them and taken ownership for them. That's when you should be shameful. Otherwise, kind of own it and move on. And if this guy did something that was wrong, then he should own it. But here's the thing. People have been saying this for a long time about him, and he's just done. He's just like, you know what? Fuck it. I'm not going to face it. And I can understand that. There's times I've wanted to quit this show, but it's never been because of what somebody said. It's always been because I go, I'm not having fun anymore.
Right. I've been on the receiving end of those phone calls.
You have. Well, go ahead. Open up, man. Hit it.
No, I mean, it's true. I mean, over time, this is one of those types of platforms that, to Matt's point, it's this corrosive environment. And over time, it can get to you.
Yeah. Yeah. Liv, your thoughts on this? I mean, you've heard things, you've seen these things, you've seen people, how they are. What are your thoughts?
Well, I was on social media like as soon as MySpace started, but it was for different reasons. I graduated high school and I left Montana before cell phones and before emails. So I got on social media to connect with friends from high school, and which I did, which was great. And then when MySpace went down, I went to Facebook, but that was it. I never went on I tried Twitter. I mean, when we had NerdFap, I tried Twitter and I hated it.
Twitter's fun now.
But I still, I mean,
minus all the anti-Jew shit.
And I have an account on every social media, but I only go on for the show. And the only time I'm on them is when we're live. I never even open the apps otherwise. But yeah, I used to be immersed in Facebook constantly. I was always on it. I was always posting. And then a few years ago, I got into a wicked fight with somebody, and it was right after Houston had went through Hurricane Harvey and Montana was going through some wicked fires, and we just started going off on each other about how, she's like, whatever, I deal with floods, but, I don't want to deal with it. And after I was done, I was like, what is the point of this? And I just kind of backed off a little bit. And I can tell you that I have just slowly stopped going on. Hayden has forbid me to post any pictures of her. She doesn't want me to, although she's got her own social media accounts now. But I've said this was the first year since the kids were born that I didn't post a happy birthday to them on my Facebook page. First year ever. I didn't post pictures. I didn't post the happy birthday. I'm not on it anymore. The main reason, of course, is the show, but I go on it every once in a while to look at funny cat videos and stuff. That's really the truth. Right. That's about what I do. But as Amy, when you said that your son will watch YouTube every once in a while, there was a time when I let Ethan watch it, but it was FGTV, which was family gaming TV, and it was a family with 4 kids. And I watched some of the things with them, and they were funny, and the language was clean and stuff like that. But they did a lot of like other videos, not just playing games with the kids, and their kids were kind of bratty. And Ethan was starting to get the attitude. And so I didn't let him watch it anymore. I said, he can't watch it because he started taking on the attitude of them. But yeah, he's grounded from social media and everything, all electronics this summer anyway, because he's so addicted to it. So
he's in trouble.
But there is one story. I don't know if, I'm sure you will remember this. Back in Colorado, I don't know what game you were playing.
By the way, welcome to the 121 people on Twitter. It is, we've been waiting for awesome. You.
Yeah.
And if you're not following, please do. And we're so happy you're here. We were at 97 followers for 3 years under the Jack Dempsey reign. And then we gained 5,000 people in less than 3 weeks as soon as Elon took over, because they stopped the algorithm. And now it's back. I've been floating between 5,187 and 99 for the last 6 months. So welcome. Thank you for being here. It's great to see you, and we've been waiting for you. So please give us a follow too. Go ahead. You were talking.
So I don't remember what game you were playing, but it was an online game, and there was some kid who was like a 12 or something, and he was playing it too. And you guys started talking, and this kid didn't have a dad in his life.
Yep. This was World of Warcraft.
This kid, was it World of Warcraft? This kid started talking to Matt and started asking advice. And this never would happen now.
This is an interesting.
This never would happen now because, Matt would have been accused as, whatever. But
well, I was.
They started talking, and his mom, the kid's mom, was very grateful that Matt was in his life. And we actually took him to the movies and out to dinner a couple times. And his mom let us meet because he lived down the road from us.
Yep.
And his mom let us take it out, and we were a good influence on him. And they met online gaming, which was cool.
He was in my guild, and he lived in the apartments across. But here's the thing, is that I had done some work on a couple of websites that were like modeling websites, who wanted me to build templates. So, and modeling from swimsuits to full business cash to hats to t-shirts, what you kind of see now. Before there was a Shopify, and these were templates for graphic design, and you would get them off of, you gotta remember, this is at the precipice of online shopping, right? People are just getting into it, and they're using like, PayPal, and they're using, what's the other one?
Venmo?
No. There wasn't Venmo back then. Way back when you could sell stuff online. It's like
Etsy?
No, bigger than that. And come on, eBay. So it was like eBay selling. They would have a site and it would link to eBay. But a couple people used the template was under my company's name. So a few people used that for some things that were adult entertainment based and used my designs. So what happened was people in the guild got pissed because there was hundreds of people, and we were one of the largest guilds in World of Warcraft. And they got mad at me because I would not give them gold and give them gear the way that they felt it was necessary. This is how stupid it was in games. So they start researching me, and they find my company, and then they find my name from the company on an adult site. And immediately I start getting emails from members saying I'm grooming this kid. They didn't use the word grooming because it wasn't there. It was alive back then too, folks. People have always been this way. There's always been stranger danger. There's always been, this crap. And now it's at an epic effing proportion. And that was like 20 years ago. So I don't know. It was more than that. It was when we first got together. So I was like 25, 26. And this kid had lost his father, and he was in my guild, and Olivia and I took him out to a movie or dinner or whatever. And he had been sexually assaulted like I had been. And I was just trying to be, like a big brother to this guy. And people made it a big deal. And of course, back then, who cares, right? It's just a bunch of stupid people in a guild. But that mentality now is that people have a megaphone, people have a voice that they can broadcast it to millions of people. And it is completely a different thing now. But anyway, go ahead.
I wanted to add something real quick, because this is just a completely different era that we're walking into.
Mm-hmm.
30 years ago, if somebody got married, everyone that was in your wedding party, you knew. You went to high school with them. You had some sort of bond with them in a very personal way. I just got done with a wedding just this past weekend, and it was for my nephew. And 3 of the people that were in his wedding party on the groom's side, 3 of them he had never met personally. They were all
crazy
acquaintances from online, from gaming.
Yeah.
And I just thought to myself, that is the wildest thought. I would have never. But it's a real thing.
Dude, you're there. Like if you retire from the Navy, or if Olivia and I get remarried, you're coming. But you and I have never met in person. And there's other people. There's Amy and Mel and Lee. And I mean, there's a shit ton of people. I'd love to sit down and have a beer with Kyung because of his experience in the military. Right. There are plenty of people who online I would love to have a friendship with. But it's interesting that you just don't know who you're talking to, and you don't know who's going to target you. And it's interesting, man. It really is. So it was just a topic that I wanted to bring up, because I would challenge everybody. Stop allowing people to gaslight you. I do it. You guys try to emulate what I do. I do it for money. Can I just tell you, I get paid to do that. Like every time I get them to click, I make money. And I do fairly well on trolling people, because they come to my page and try to troll me, and then the troll trolls them. And I get them to post. I mean, you've seen, I've had people post 700 times on Twitter. Everyone remembers that chick. 700 times in 7 days. She posted 100 times a day. That lady was a fucking cuckoo. And she was going to sue me. She drove by my house.
Oh,
she came to see me from Fairfax and stopped in front of my house and took a picture and sent it to me. Completely nuts.
They're out there.
Oh.
Yeah. She said
that's why I don't use my real name, folks. And real quick, because I'm looking at the comments off on the right, and people were talking about, oh, that's not his real name. No, it's not my real name. We're gonna have a reveal party on the day that I retire.
Aww.
And on that day, on that day, we will retire this name, and I will then, from that day forward, use my real name. But not until
we
then.
need to. We'll have to have a guessing party and see who actually gets it right.
I already know it.
I don't know it.
I win.
Well, you can't be a part of it then, because I don't know it.
It's Leah. So, all right. So good Tom. Anybody else want to chime in on this, or we feel comfortable with moving on up?
I think we can move on.
All right. So, like I said, thanks for letting me do that. It just, I don't know. And this guy could be guilty of sin. I don't know. But I don't know. Married, has kids. I don't know, man. I think it's a little weird that all of a sudden after this long that this would happen. All right. Jake Tapper is going to be one of the debate moderators on Thursday night. This should be really interesting. Now, I've said on CNN, if anyone is going to do it, Jake Tapper is probably the best, and that's not saying much. It's like picking the smartest kid with Down syndrome. No offense. Jake Tapper.
Jack Taper.
Jack Taper. God, whatever the hell his name is. That's it. Jack Taper. That's his new name. Here's a video of him and what he really thinks of Trump. And then we're going to go ahead and show the fallout of this. Listen to this.
National security laws and then obstructing and refusing to cooperate with the
Mel just said 7 minutes to game time. Very aware. Going to watch it. I'm very excited for Edmonton. And what an amazing comeback. It's going to be great either way. I hope Florida pulls it out. I really do. But in the same time, Edmonton is no threat at this point. They're a very good team. I think they got Florida figured out. It's going to be tough to go in their barn and win 4 in a row. We'll see what happens. But if Florida lays this egg, this will be the biggest laughingstock in baseball history. This will be bigger than
Hockey.
Baseball history, where the New York Yankees lost to the Brooklyn Dodgers. That's what type of upset this is going to be. And funny thing is, Brooklyn was like 1,000 to 1. They swept them, and to sweep, I think the odds were like something like 64,000 to 1. If you put $10 on that game, can you imagine how much you would have won?
Right.
This will be that level of disappointment. So anyway, just listen. I'm excited, Mel. I want to see it too. McDavid's a phenomenal player.
Yeah, whatever this spectacle is that's unfolding before us, let's remember what this case is about. Let's remember what this indictment charges. Again, Donald Trump is charged with a series of federal felonies for mishandling the most sensitive government documents that we have, and for obstruction of justice, along with Walt Nauta, who is charged with intentionally setting up lies to the grand jury, to the FBI. Any way you look at this, and again, despite whatever may be going on in that restaurant, this case isn't going to be settled legally in a cafe. It's going to be settled in the court based on the facts and law.
The folks in the control.
Yeah, McDavid shouldn't be the MVP. There are many other players who are performing much better than McDavid. McDavid's having a great Stanley Cup run, but I don't think MVP. I know he had 2 games, 4 goals, but are 4 points back to back, which is great. And I know he kind of carried them on their team, but I think you have to give it to Skinner. Your goaltender in Edmonton turned it around and saved bacon. And it's not like Edmonton's defense has gotten that much better. Their forecheck's been really good. But there's still some very lethal players, and Skinner's been really, really, really strong. And I think Florida's failure on the power play has been the worst thing. Now, I'm done. I'm sorry, Squirrel.
Somebody asked if we saw a fan confront Gary Bettman, but I'm solely gonna go watch that afterwards because I didn't see it.
Yeah, we'll go look.
He's trying to turn this in. He's trying to turn it into a spectacle, into a campaign ad. That's enough of that. We've seen it already. Let's go over again the 37 charges that Donald Trump is facing right now. We don't have to go into each one.
Sure.
But Ellie, if you could basically detail what are the allegations.
So this is Mr. Jake Tapper. Now this is an interesting one. This is CNN, and Carolyn Leavitt goes on CNN and starts challenging Jake Tapper and Dana Bash, and Casey Hunt. Sorry, she's not Yiddish. Decides to go ahead and cut her off. Listen to this.
For this debate, I want to play themselves as professionals, as they have covered campaigns and interviewed candidates from all sides of the aisle. I'll also say that if you talk to analysts of debates previous, that if you're
She looks like she's 1940s on the right. She looks like she's like Eva Braun or not Eva Braun, but she's Holiday, whatever her face is.
Billie Holiday.
Billie Holiday or Grace Kelly. She's got a very timeless look. I mean, they're not ugly ladies at all, but just a very timeless look. I don't know.
The moderators, you're usually losing. So I really want to focus in on what these two men are going to do and say when they stand on the stage. Now, we have a little bit of what Donald Trump, your boss, has said in trying to set expectations for this debate. I want to play a series of his comments, and then we'll talk about it. Watch.
Oh, here we go.
Well, maybe I'm better off losing the debate. I'll make sure he says I'll lose the debate on purpose. Maybe I'll do something like that. I assume he's going to be somebody that will be a worthy debater. Should I be tough and nasty and just say you're the worst president in history? Or should I be nice and calm and let him speak?
There's a middle ground.
So he's basically saying there, well, will I let Joe Biden win? It does seem as though many Republicans have set the bar very low in terms of arguing that Joe Biden is basically senile. Now you have people like Doug Burgum coming out and saying, well, President Biden's very accomplished, trying to set expectations in a different place. What do you expect from Joe Biden?
Well, first of all, it would take someone 5 minutes to Google Jake Tapper, Donald Trump, to see that Jake Tapper has consistently
stop this interview if you're going to keep
President
attacking my
Trump to
colleagues.
Adolf Hitler.
Ma'am, I'm going to stop
no,
this interview if you
I'm
continue
stating,
to attack my colleagues. I would like to talk about Joe Biden and Donald Trump, who you work for.
Yes.
If you are here to speak on his behalf, I am willing to have this conversation.
Oh, Jesus.
I am stating facts that your colleagues have stated in the past.
Okay,
now, as
I'm
for
sorry,
this
guys.
debate,
We're going to come back out to the panel. Caroline, thank you very much for your time. You are welcome to come back at any point. She is welcome to come back and speak about Donald Trump and
just not now. Like, for example, the Darrow guy who called during the thing. I'm going to turn my phone back on so he can call back because that's important. I want to make sure people feel appreciated, even though he's a douche. But give me a break. I'll finish this, then we'll open it up.
Trump will have equal time to Joe Biden when they both join us now at later this week in Atlanta for this debate. Our thanks.
Listen to her voice. Listen, this is a tell, by the way.
Condescending.
Yeah, it's not that she's out of breath and she's physically angry to a point where her adrenaline's going because listen to her. She's out of breath and she can't catch herself.
Well, the way she's got that frozen looks like she's having a stroke right there.
Yeah. But listen to this. Listen to her voice. We've all been here. We've all been this pissed off. But why is she this pissed off? Listen.
Right.
I am stating facts that your colleagues have stated in the past.
Okay,
now, as
I'm
for
sorry,
this
guys.
debate,
We're going to come back out to the panel. Caroline, thank you very much for your time. You are welcome to come back at any point. She is welcome to come back and speak about Donald Trump, and Donald Trump will have equal time to Joe Biden when they both join us now at later this week in Atlanta for this debate. Our thanks to Caroline. John, did themselves.
Dude, are you kidding me?
Yeah, she was upset.
Does anyone think that this debate is actually gonna be anything other than gang up on Trump and basically challenge Joe Biden on a couple softballs, like hit him on inflation, hit him on the top, but not talk about the Hunter Biden laptop, not talk about his son, not talk about China, not talk about bribes, not talk about his senility. I think they're going to go personal on Trump. They're going to go policy on Biden. They're going to try to look like they're remaining impartial. That's going to last 15 minutes, and then it's going to be a Trump hate fest. What do you guys think?
I would happen to agree. I just found out today that there's going to be no audience. Which
go over the rules. Go over the rules with everybody.
So rare. I got to find them. Hang on.
I already know what they are.
I have them. I have them right here.
You do?
All right, Leroy, talk about them.
So there's not going to be any live audience. The respondents are only given 90 seconds to respond. The opposing mic will be shut off during that time. And I had to double check this because I'd seen it advertised on different social media sites that Biden was to be given an earpiece, but Trump would not. I could not find any evidence to support that. As best I could tell, there will be no earpieces between either one of them. And also, right before we came on air, the Republican Party Trump requested a drug test between both of them, and that was denied by the Democrat Party.
Of course.
So if you have to release your taxes, if you have to release medical records, if you have to have a physical, why would a blood test, drug test not be something you would want to just do? If I was Joe Biden, like, of course I'll do it.
Right.
Of course. Sure. Anything. Donald Trump's been so accommodating so far. People don't seem to understand. Donald Trump is getting some good advice. Whoever is talking in his ear right now, I just want to say you're doing a great job. I don't know who you are. Either you're watching my show, but it can't be an effing coincidence. I'm done thinking it's a coincidence, to be honest with you, because I can't tell you how many times I've said something and 72 hours later, all of a sudden the administration does a 180. I'm not saying it's us. I'm just saying somebody is either simpatico and got the noodle on fix, but it's weird. But he has a very big opportunity to come out and be magnanimous. He doesn't have to run. He's not running. All he has to do is prosecute the last 4 years of Biden, because I've tried to tell you guys, you can't in a 2-minute answer have America remember what it was like under Donald Trump. They're not going to do that. Too many years have passed. Everything that's wrong with the country right now is Joe Biden's fault. It does not matter what Donald Trump did. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. So what do we see? What do we see happening here? Do we see? I don't think Joe Biden's going to. I'm the only person out there who thinks that Joe Biden is not going to absolutely drop drawers and drop trowel. I think he's going to go up there and he's going to do exactly what he did at the State of the Union. He's not going to knock it out of the park, but unless he has a stroke or a massive coronary, people are going to actually say he won.
Yes.
Go ahead, Amy.
Go ahead, Amy.
Oh, I agree with you. I mean, he set up the rules, which I think are hilarious. And if he actually cared about the American people, he would have the American people there in the audience. That's number one. Number two, I would like to have a timer so we can actually time the 90 seconds ourselves. And we'll see if they're actually fair with Trump's time versus Biden's.
I'm going to have a timer.
There we go.
I'll put a timer on the show for you. Yep.
And then,
and also, you know what we should do is you guys, I think what I'll do is like, you guys will get a piece of red or green or whatever. And every time Biden lies, you put it up and I'll tag it. You know, we should do that. And we should rate the show. I mean, I think we should keep score. I really do.
Yeah.
We'll have Leroy live fact check everything.
Like the Miss
So we can
America pageant.
Yes. And then I also think that if Trump wants to be the Trump that everyone's expecting him to be, he's not going to use his time to answer the questions. He's going to use that 90 seconds to say what he wants to say, regardless of what's asked of him. He's just going to say what he wants to say for 90 seconds.
I think it's great.
Now, and I think he'll have it all timed out perfectly for his time. I don't think he's going to listen to the moderators whatsoever.
He's got it.
He knows that it's not going to be treated with respect. So
correct. Right. He's got to hit Joe. He's got to hit Joe and not stop hitting. And remember, every time Joe tries to bring it back to 2016 and 2020, say, Joe Biden, I know you want to go back to 2016 and 2020. Is it that you can't remember the last 4 years, or is it that that's what they told you to say? He's got to like take the fucking gloves off, hit him with a one-liner, shut it down, and then immediately go to what you're going to do for the American people. Just hit him. It's not hard. And Trump can think on his feet. He's very quick. He is very quick. That's what he needs to do. Crush what Joe Biden said in one sentence or less, and then what are you going to do for the American people? And
I actually wrote down how I think this is going to go. And if you'll allow me, I think that, first of all, that from the Biden side of the camp, right, all of the arguments will be based on mostly emotion, right? But the points that he's going to bring up are deaths from COVID, the positive job numbers, right? That'll be a major blow because the economy is the number one issue that Americans are concerned about. He will specifically speak to how the recent highs in the economy have led to record high stock market numbers. He's going to bring up abortion because it's such a hot button issue.
Is it?
They're trying to make, so again, I follow all of the Democrat pages and every
yeah. But is it? Let's talk about that.
I don't think it is. I don't think
then
it
let's
is.
let's talk about that.
Sure.
Because in 2022, because today's the 2-year anniversary, right? So they dropped this right before the election in 2022, the midterms. And you and I both said, I said it was a huge issue, but it didn't even rate in the top 17. And I said, it's going to be the shadow issue of this election cycle. Do you believe that it still has staying power and this is going to be a shadow issue in 2024?
You're asking me right now.
Yeah, that's why we're talking about it.
I think it will be.
Really?
I think it'll bring a larger percentage of the people that would normally not give a shit. There's that.
But do they understand that? But do you think that the voter understands that even if they put Biden in another 4 years, that's not going to change the face of the Supreme Court, and it's not going to bring Roe back? Because now they can't put Roe back, even if the Supreme Court goes ahead and overturns it, because that's not the way the Supreme Court works.
No,
the Supreme Court has to have a valid argument against reinstating Roe, and they don't, because it's been found unconstitutional. That's the only thing they can never touch again, is that it's unconstitutional. So do you think people know that, or are they just like so unfettered? They want unfettered access to kill babies that they're going to do whatever they can.
Right. The hot taglines that I'm seeing circulated around on social media is just that if the Republicans get back in, that there will be a nationwide abortion ban. That has been the post that has been repeated time after time. And again, this is one of those emotional arguments.
It's so stupid. It makes no sense that they wanted to shut down Roe v. Wade from a national standpoint. Because Virginia, I don't know if you know this, but they just pumped in about $25 million into Virginia, and it's all it's all Roe v. Wade support. It's all Republicans are going to take away because they know Virginia's in play. And I'm going to tell you, the way Virginia goes is the way this is going to go nationally, brother. And I'm interested to see the polling on abortion because I think Virginia is the hot spot they're trying to save. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I have two more points, and then I'm gonna hash over what it will take for Trump to win.
Okay.
He will also address having deployed troops to the southern border, right? Which is nothing more than an optical argument. And then finally, he's going to bring up how Republicans are threatening Social Security. Okay. Now, for Trump to win, okay, he's going to have to steer clear of the emotional arguments, still get in his zingers where he can, but he needs to keep it based on policy. And if he can do that and talk about the failures at the southern border, bring up the withdrawal from Afghanistan and how terrible that was, bring up how bad inflation has hurt everyone, and also the top secret documents. And
holy shit, dude. We've got 2 hours. Here, let me show you what Joe Biden's, here's real quick. Liv, actually, no, Amy, you do it. Amy, be Joe Biden for me and bring up the felony.
The thing with the the dude with and he had the hat and the
Okay, let's pretend you got your let's pretend you got your B12 shot and your caffeine.
Not real Joe Biden. Sorry.
Right.
Sorry.
Right.
That was funny.
Get a couple of lines of Coke in there, sure.
Yeah, throw some cocaine in there, a speedball. Come on, try
it. Which felon are we talking about? Trump?
Donald Trump's felony. Yeah, his conviction, right? So he's the felon in chief, right? Let's go ahead and do it.
Yeah, I mean, America doesn't want a felon as their president, and
Here, just direct it to me. I'm Donald Trump, and just say, "Hey, Donald, you're a felon."
Oh,
right?
Oh, sorry, Trump, you're nothing but a convicted felon, and the economy was terrible under you.
All right, that's good. All right, that's good. So, Mr. President, that's your 2 minutes. Thank you for. Now he's going to do that. He's going to go all into the felony and everything else. Donald Trump just has to look at him and say, "Listen, not all of us can be nice guys who don't have the capability of standing trial." So yes, you have weaponized the DOJ. You have weaponized the legal system against me, being the president of the United States. But if I'm not mistaken, you would be in a very similar situation, but you're unable to stand trial is the reason why you're not. So he's not going to bring up. I'm telling you, he's going to hit him with convicted felon maybe one time. Yeah. He is not going to lay himself out like that, because remember what the report was from. It wasn't Jimmy Yang, but we're going to call it just the only Asian name I can think of. He ultimately said that he was a nice guy who was, what was it? Unable to retain his faculties, but unable to stand trial due to his mental state. I'll get the quote. The point is it's going to crush Biden. He can also bring up the laptop, burying the laptops. There are so many things. Joe Biden cannot go up there and make this about Donald Trump. If he goes up there and prosecutes Donald Trump, he's going to lose. He has to go out there and rally his base. And the only way you're going to rally the base is talk about the things that the fucking Democrats care about. Transitioning transgenders, the LGBTQ community, the African Americans not having jobs, unemployment, inflation. Hey, my first 4 years was basically putting my fingers in all the cracks in the dam, but we've got them plugged, and you can't wait to see what we're going to do. We're going to build back better, yo. Everybody gets chicken and grape soda. Whatever he's going to do, he's got to go and lie to his base and get them riled up. Abortion's going to be on there. DACA is going to be on there. All this type of stuff. The one thing, let me just say this. If Donald Trump doesn't lay this blow, I'm going to be so disappointed in DJT here. This is the only thing Donald Trump needs to do. The one thing. Because it's going to put Minnesota, Michigan, and Wisconsin in play. Okay? When he's in that debate, all he has to say is, you know, Joe, there's a lot of things that you can say about me, and there's a lot of things I can say about you. And I think America is used to that after us doing 4 of these things. But can you explain to me why you're abandoning Israel and why you're taking the sides of terrorists? Because I don't think that Jewish Americans are appreciative. But here's the thing. Your messaging is so bad. Not only are you abandoning Jewish Americans, but you're losing the Muslim population in this country too, because you don't have a clear and concise message. And you can't go ahead and prosecute the reasons why you're doing what you're doing. You're trying to play them down the middle. It's like when you put African Americans and white people against each other, how you call Republicans extremists and MAGA extremists. You have done nothing but divide America, and now you're dividing based on theology and religion. You're calling everyone white nationalists, and now you're going to go ahead and divide Jews and Muslims. Don't you think, Joe, that maybe you need to step aside, because there's only one president ever in U.S. history who's brought peace to the Middle East, and that's me. If he does not hit him on that, and remind every Muslim who's watching that they cannot vote for Joe Biden, not vote for Trump either, because they don't want to. They know he's pro-Israel, but just not show up. That is how you win the upper Northeast. Well, Central. That's how you win it. You got to do it. The question is, will he?
It's a good call. And the Muslim population of Michigan too. So it's going to be Michigan, Minnesota. That argument would tilt
Wisconsin.
Quite a few numbers in there. Yeah.
And Wisconsin. So west side of Wisconsin has a lot of Muslims in it. So you're going to get the Somalian population. We've demonstrated how many of those are registered voters, right? There is a grip metric shit ton in these big blue cities, especially in Minneapolis and St. Paul. Then you've got what you just said, but you have a ton of Muslim population in Michigan, and you also have some in Wisconsin too. So, but more importantly, you rally Florida. If there's any chance of them to creep Florida, which they won't, but if there's any chance, the Jews usually vote for Democrats. That shit's not going to happen. That's probably the most underrated number that we're seeing right now, is that Jews are not going to vote for Biden. And they usually vote Democrat. Olivia, can you please look up how many Jewish Americans are in the United States right now?
Yes.
I think it's 2.1% of the population, maybe
I
a
looked
little
that
bit
up
less.
at one point. And
I know, so did I.
Yeah.
It's not as many as you think, but if we could look that up, because that's going to tell you, that's a lot of votes.
7.5 million. This was as
What
of
percentage of the
2020,
population?
2.4%.
See, like I said, I thought it was 2.1, it's 2.4. So 7 million votes. That's a huge demographic that is probably not going to vote for Biden.
Yeah.
Something to think about. So now you got African Americans giving him 12%. You got Hispanics giving him an additional 6 or 7%. They're saying that the rural voter is voting for Biden. This is the biggest crock of shit ever.
Yeah.
This is the big, what Fox News is smoking is like, they're trying to like pump people up or something. This is the dumbest way to do it, because there is no effing way that he's leading in rural votes by 50 to 48. That is the dumbest, dude.
Not with what he's done to farmers. It's, and I'm not saying it's
frackers.
Him, yeah, it's like this is the rural. I mean, we're rural, and we have the few people who still support Biden, but by and large, in the rural area here that we live in, no one's voting for Biden. And traveling to very rural, I can't say that word, Arkansas.
Rural.
I can tell you, everybody there was very much Trump supporters. It was laid on pretty thick there. So,
you know, I posted something earlier today about the 538 polls. Right now, Biden is ahead in the polling by 0.1%. Now, if everyone who's watching this show, if you reflect back, if you dial back those calendars about 2-3 months, Matt said exactly that the polling was going to get frighteningly close before things started to even out. And that's exactly what's happened.
Yeah. And you know, I always love it when you say I'm right. That makes me feel good. But it's going to. Guys, this isn't going to be a blowout. This isn't going to be Mondale. No. The country is very divided. But the country's very pissed off. And it's not like Donald Trump needs to perform better than he did, because he won't. 2016 and 2020 were very similar in performance, not from an overall voting standpoint, but from a percentage. So it's not that he has to do that. I love that I just got to vote down on YouTube. Whoever you are, go fuck yourself. Just, I love that I get one every show. I mean, how pathetic. But it's not that. It's this. I mean, I feel like we're playing war games right now.
Yeah.
Look at this.
Yep.
Do you want to know what all that red is? That's rural, baby. It's rural. And this is what Joe Biden, you're telling me he has gained? Essentially, in order for Joe Biden to gain 48%, he would have to gain the Rust Belt. That's Texas, that's Oklahoma, that's Nebraska, all the way up. You're telling me that he gained? No. No. It's not true. Because here's the thing. Christians, he's up. He's up in women. He's up in uneducated men. So if evangelicals he's up, then explain to me how he's down in rural, where evangelicals are absolutely in the rural areas. That's where they are. How many evangelicals do you know in California?
None.
There's some. Of course
What's
there's
that
some.
one guy, the crazy guy with the eyes? Is he from California?
Marty Feldman?
No. The
I
oh
know.
my gosh.
I don't know, but look at this shit. Rural voters, 50 to 48, men, 41 to 56. If Trump is up 56, 41, okay, how about white men with no degree, 64 to 30? Do you know what? That's rural voters. White evangelicals, it's almost a 3-to-1 ratio. That's rural voters. Now, it's showing age 65, 57 to 42. Urban is ridiculous that that's tied. I think that's wrong. And white women with degrees, I don't know if that's correct. The whole point of this is there is no way in hell that Joe Biden has the rural voters. And if anyone is going to sit here and pretend that he does, that this is going to be a real long time till November, because I don't have the energy or the patience for anyone who believes that. That's like saying Donald Trump's leading with women or black people. You're delusional. He's not. He's getting more black people than ever before in the Republican Party. But here's the deal. The reason why is the black population has grown immensely since the last census. So the 2010 census and the 2020 census, African Americans were the largest demographic increase. So they were sitting around 12%. They're sitting like 16.5% now. So a 4.5% increase in population numbers is pretty freaking immense when your population's only 12%, right? Wouldn't be that big for whites, but actually it would be. It would be a huge number for white. But 4.5% in the white population would be like an ungodly amount of people. Ungodly amount of people. So to sit here and see even 4.5% in the African American population between 2010 and 2020, that's a reason why we're seeing more votes for Donald Trump. But understand this, it's all percentage based. And a lot of them are coming over to Trump's side. That's pretty huge.
Hey, real quick, can I address something? Amy Bordeaux had a serious question. And this is based on a post that I made yesterday. She wants to know, serious question, ignore others. What is Homelander? Ask Leroy. And it's based on a post that I made yesterday where I had said on Dumb Nation that the difference between free people and slaves is the ability to tell someone like Homelander to suck my balls knowing the consequences. That is basically knowing it's a character on a TV show, and it's basically making the argument that knowing that you're going to die if you say something like that, but saying it anyway. It's very much like the 300 Spartans kind of argument, how they were like, hey, you know what? If this is the hill that I'm going to die on, then this is the hill. I just wanted to answer that real quick.
Yeah. Here's the thing. Somebody said, why do you think those rural areas vote red? Well, because they're predominantly smaller towns and they don't like big government. And they don't like how condescending Democrats are. Democrats have basically 3 platforms right now. Christians are stupid. MAGA supporters are stupid. And white people are stupid. That's their platform. Because they've been saying that shit for 4 years. So conservatives don't like that shit. We're not all about being white. We don't care. That's a misnomer. Like, I don't sit here and go, God, I look at Olivia and go, damn, I'm glad you're white. She goes, you too. I've never said those words in my life. I don't have any white pride because I did nothing to earn this skin color. Okay. It's just here. But when you sit here and say that's all I care about, now we got a problem. Right. It's just like when you sit here and say that Republicans are responsible for slavery and that we're Nazis. Now we've got a problem. No. Because if you want to draw lines of delineation to the Nazi party, it ain't Republicans. And in fact, it's not Democrats either, honestly. It's not. Because it's antithetical.
A little bit of both.
Well, that's because they're both on the other opposite ends of the spectrum. Fascism is not just owned by the right, even though they'll try to sell you that. The horseshoe method is probably one of the worst political spectrums ever. What they don't understand is that in a government, it's more of like an algebraic scale, where 0, flat, is not center. Center is like plus 10. And left and right, surprisingly enough, are both vertical in the plus 30. Then you start getting socialism, progressivism, everything else, and that's minus 30. They are on the algebraic scale. There's a 60-point difference between the two. That's the way they should be. You should have the left and you should have the right on an algebraic scale. Because it's not that the left and the right are diametrically opposed, because they're not. They're both classically liberal. There are just about 5 things that used to separate the Republican and the Democrat Party. Now, anything and everything separates them. And that is not true conservatism, and it's not true liberalism. That's totalitarianism and an area that I don't even understand. Like, I don't even recognize the Republican Party. I don't recognize the Democrat Party. They are nothing of what they used to be. No. Democrats used to be ACLU, used to be free speech, used to be inclusivity, all this other shit. Now there's censorship. They're alienating. They want DEI. They don't want equity. They want equity-based results. Everyone gets equal results, but no, it used to be meritocracy. Now look at Republicans. They're all for the hard workers. They're for the coal miners. They're for the farmers. What the hell? What's going on? They're for free speech.
If Trump brought that up.
Hold on, but why is that the parties are actually changing who they garner to? And is this the shift that we see, that the elites finally branch off, and it really comes down to the haves and have-nots, what they're accusing the conservatives of? Go ahead, Leroy. Sorry.
Well, I was just going to say that if that was the explanation, or if that was brought up in debate, the way you just explained it tomorrow, and talk about what the Democrats came from and what they have turned into, that would go a long way in salvaging some percentage points.
It's interesting. By the way, whoever took the YouTube thumbs down and they put it back to a thumbs up, so it must have been an accident. I'm like, I usually don't see those down votes. By the way, folks, please pound it. This debate's going to be interesting. We're going to have full coverage of it. We're going to cover everything top to bottom. We hope that you join us. Quickly, folks, I just want to talk about linktapgo.com/thedumshow. We are a 100% donation-based site. We're not paid for by any big media company. Facebook took about 90% of our revenue. Everything that we do here is based off T-shirt sales. We get a little bit from Wimkin, which is a fantastic company. We want you guys to take a look at social media platform that we're going to show you a video on real quick. But once they took that, for 3.5 years, we never asked for donations. We turned it down many times. Liv will tell you, people offered, hey, how do I send money? Can I send it by check? Can I send it by PO? Like, no, we don't want it. But we started accepting donations about 3 months ago. So your support means the world. We humbly request that if you have the ability and you've taken care of your loved ones, your mom, your pop, your sister, brother, grandma, grandpa, kids, whatever, you got your vacation set for the summer and it's all paid for, you got a little extra, you can help out, which is real tough nowadays. You can give to the Donut Friendly Show at linktapgo.com/thedumshow. I'm going to show you a quick video. This is Wimkin. Don't leave. This is funnier than hell. Wimkin is a free speech platform. It is a 1-minute video. You won't be sorry. Watch it. We'll be right back. Don't leave.
Are you tired of being constantly banned off of every social media platform for saying facts only to be proven right 6 months later after you already had to create a new account? Tired of Fuckerberg robot AI looking bitch constantly putting you in Facebook jail? Or maybe a geriatric old bastard who shits his pants in front of the Pope became the resident-in-chief because his crack addict, traitorous son had complete media silence about traitorous actions and backdoor deals with the big guy. And those bastards ban you for sharing the story. If you said yes to 2 of the 3 above, you don't need to circle back like a failed White House spokesperson who has 2 alcoholic drinks for a name. Up in Wimkin, we think it's fair not to sell your data to China, even though their president is super inclusive and named Xi. We kind of have a problem with the whole harvesting organs, slave labor, and communism. We also don't compromise you or get your kids to do stupid and dangerous trends. So you don't have to find out secondhand your kid Johnny is an idiot. Look no further than Wimkin. Made and housed in the USA, Wimkin offers all the features of Facebook and more, with complete data privacy and safe for your whole family. Download us on your app store today and join the community of users who value privacy and safety. Wimkin.
Folks, join Wimkin. We joined a couple weeks ago. They've been amazing. We absolutely love them. Want to show a video.
I love that ad.
I do too. I think it's fantastic.
I got a question.
Yes, you got a question. Go ahead.
It was actually Kevin from Rumble.
Yeah, go Kevin.
Out of curiosity, what percentage of voters do you think are devout Democrats and Republicans? And devout meaning I will only vote for the party.
So out of registered voters, that is a very difficult, but honestly, it's around 23 to 25%. That's usually the number. Now, if you want to look at Republican and Democrat, just that breakdown, it's like a 52 to 48% swing. It's 3 to 4, and that was in 2020. However, they have seen about 2.2 to 2.3 million voters leave the Democratic Party and go to Republican or Independent. So now it's probably closer to a 49-51% split among Republican registered voters. But out of those voters, how many actually vote? 23 to 25%. It is an extremely low number. People don't, like when we saw the 161 million, whatever it was in 2020, that's a ridiculous amount of number. That's almost half the population. That is why we know it's complete bullshit, by the way. You usually see from the low end, 92 million, and we're going back in the last 75 years to about 116, 120. My prediction is that this election will be between about 124 and 130 million. That's what I've been saying. And if that happens, you have to ask yourself the question, why did we have so many people vote in COVID? And that is because of mail-in ballots and unregistered, unsolicited ballots going to people who were not registered to vote because of executive powers under COVID. There's your answer. 1-0 Florida. That is what I said they needed to a key to success of this game is Florida had to score first. Now we'll see what Edmonton can do. Edmonton does not play well from behind. That is the one thing they don't do very well. They get a little chippy. They start kicking the puck up the ice. They make mistakes, turn over in the neutral zone, and then that usually ends up in the back of their net. We'll see. Did that answer your question?
Yes.
Good. Do we have something else? No, we didn't. Okay. Want to watch this video? This is the guy from Duck Dynasty. No, I'm kidding.
Looks like it.
I want you to listen to this, and then I want reactions. I'm going to start with Olivia's.
What that's like.
I want Olivia's, then Amy, then Leroy, please. Enjoy.
If Donald Trump wins, there are going to be a lot of angry people. I can't promise that there won't be some fighting. But if Donald Trump wins and starts trying to implement some of these measures to take away even more rights, you're not going to want to be around for that fight. I can fucking promise you that. You're not going to want your family to be around for that fight. Because people will die. People will die. You don't know what that is fucking like. I can promise you that.
Yeah, actually, I do.
Whoa.
I know what that's like.
This guy.
Leroy knows what that's
He's
like.
got some baby balls going, doesn't he?
He's never done a push-up in his life. We all know what that's like. Any veteran, but anyway, let's let Speedy Gonzalez keep going here.
You know who we could ask? We could ask Alec Baldwin.
He could. Alec Baldwin knows what that's like.
What that's like. All you guys want to fucking talk about a civil war. None of you have even been to war, so you don't have a fucking goddamn idea what it's like. So keep fucking thinking that you're ready for it, because I can fucking promise you, you're not.
What do you think? Air National Guard or Air Force?
No, I'm saying that's somebody who has played Call of Duty one too many times, and if he actually ever saw any sort of real combat, he would shit out his own testicles.
Olivia's first.
It just cracks me up that people actually think like this and believe this. That were they not alive, and do they have no memory from 2016 to 2020 when Donald Trump was actually president? I don't know of one right he took away. Maybe he took away us having to pay more taxes.
No. What right did he take away? Let's talk about that. Who, can anyone tell me?
There was the bump stock thing.
That's not a right.
Right.
I mean, if you okay, yes, it is. It's under the Second Amendment, but that's not. First of all, it was absolutely under Donald Trump's orders to the Attorney General, so that is fair. I don't think that's the one that the Democrats are talking about.
Probably not, considering they want to ban all guns. Anything that has to do with the Second Amendment is a good thing for them. So,
yeah. Go ahead.
It just cracks me up that people think like this and believe this. That are people so entrenched with the left and CNN and MSNBC and all the left news stations that they can't actually do a little research for themselves? I mean, where were they for 4 years when Donald Trump was president? I mean, apparently they were living a really shitty life if the last 3 years has been better under Biden than it was under Trump. So maybe that's their problem is this is better for them, higher taxes and a shit economy and inflation and interest rates.
Crime skyrocketing.
Exactly. Yeah. It just makes me laugh when people think that way. And pull your head out of your own ass and do some research. And pull your head out of CNN's ass and do some research. Don't go to Fox. Don't go to the other left sites. Do your own research. Look it up. Figure it out. But I mean, there's people on the right that are just as entrenched as well. So that still think that Biden is the lizard person and Pizzagate and shit like that. Everyone who is like that, right or left, needs to pull the head out and do some research. And my God, this country would be so much better if people would do that.
So I want to be clear. Abortion was not a right.
No, never was.
Right.
And abortion was an unconstitutional amendment. Oh, we've got an anonymous call. This should be fun. All right, caller. What do you want to talk about?
I would like to say that I'm a first-time caller and a long-time listener to your show. And without your unbelievably well-informed panel, I just do not think that America can ever have any hope of being the phenomenal country it is. I would like to suggest that you run for president, and I would like to donate to your cause.
Would you be my first? Would you be my first lady?
I would like to. I would be honored. I would really appreciate if that striking brunette that's on your side. I mean, she's okay, but I think she needs to step aside and let a real
you need to stop trying
hefty
to Dom.
woman like
you need to stop trying to fuck my wife. You need to
I'm
stop trying to fuck my wife.
I get so just moist and inappropriately aroused when I watch your show because I'm a sappiophile. And that's it. I just want to say that if people do not listen to the DUM show, they're un-American, they're communists, and sometimes they make me want to just do bad things to myself, but you make me want to be patriotic and serve this country. Thank you. I love you.
No, don't leave. You son of a bitch. Damn it, Dom. Dom, call back as Alex Jones, please. Call back as Alex Jones. Folks, that's not a troll. That's Dominic Izzo.
Yeah,
Dominic Izzo has free reign. Although a few of our viewers are a little upset about how anti-woman Dom is. So he's going to have to come back on and talk about that. So Dom is a great guy. I love him to death. It's good to have him call in.
Did you do your show today? It's Monday.
No, there was no show today.
Okay.
So I of course I'd love to be on the show.
Dude, he is fucking awesome.
Dom sounds like a sub on the phone.
Well, he does that on purpose. You should hear his Alex Jones. We have a safe word. Dom and I have a safe word.
Does it keep going?
Yeah, it's deeper. It's deeper. It's the safe word.
Yeah, my God.
Harder.
Goodness.
So yeah, Dom's a good dude. Dom has some problems. He's been hurt, and I've been trying to help him with that.
Oh yeah, had Oh, God, that was so good. Now I'm going to stuff my fucking face with Pepperidge Farm.
Yeah, we watched Ted last night and we just love that movie. Quick one more. And then I think we'll call it. We've got you know what? We're gonna do Chrissy Teigen.
I hope that you see.
I can't stand this chick. First of all, everyone know who Chrissy Teigen is?
Yes,
she was a model, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Here you go. Listen to this.
Luna, my girl, I hope that you see all the incredible people, mainly women, in this room. And I hope that when you grow up, you want to fight for justice in the way that we do, unapologetically, without fear, and know that your body is your own and nobody can take that away from you, okay? I love you. Luna.
Okay. So before first, I gotta do my thing. Sorry. I went and found some old tweets of Chrissy Teigen.
Oh,
Yeah, I thought
hope
you guys
the
would
ones I was just about to pull up because.
Yeah, I hope you guys like these. Yeah, here's one. Seeing little girls do the splits half naked is just, I want to put myself in jail. Hashtag toddlers and tiaras. I can show you about 57 tweets where she talks about pizza and Pizzagate. But this one, these take the cake. I am about to Anthony Weiner this kid. I now know what parents go through when they are forced to tie their kids up. Accidentally went to the children's aquarium looking pretty pedo bear-ish, cruising the parking lot. Seeing little girls do the splits. Water slide that goes through a shark tank. F yeah, time to get my pedo on. I just saw a baby that looked like a porn star, like a trashy do-anything porn star. Is this wrong to think? Skinny pedos drink Pedolite. This is very much like the guy Peter Gunn who had over 10,000 posts about fucking kids and making jokes about it. And Disney fired him for almost a year. Then they brought him back for Guardians of the Galaxy 3 because the franchise turned to shit. This is Hollywood. There's only so much we can take. And I used to be the guy to be like, come on, guys, let's not everybody's a pedo. This chick, when you're looking at a child and you're talking about them having a future uterine abortion when they're that age, there is something fucking wrong with you. Yeah. And this lady is just pure trash.
I would think that Chrissy Teigen might be a little more sensitive on the subject, considering she's had a couple of miscarriages and she took them very hard. She shared publicly what the family went through and her and John's emotions and blah, 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 and all that. She understands what it's like to lose a child. Why is she for it? And especially telling her daughter, it's okay to have an abortion. You're 8, but yeah, go ahead.
That's right.
Go have an abortion when you're old enough to get pregnant. I mean, she was devastated when she lost both her kids with the miscarriages.
It's a good point.
And I'm wondering, how far along is abortion is she for? Is she for the 12-week? Is she for 15? Is she for full term? Because if I'm not mistaken, her miscarriages, I think she was like 5 and 6 months when she lost them. And she's talking about how the baby was perfect and beautiful and they got to hold the baby and blah, 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 blah. And I want to know how far along in her eyes is an abortion okay?
Let's this could actually, I want everyone to have a chance, but I also want to get to this video because this guy is in our neck of the woods, Amy and Olivia and I. And Amy's not going to be happy about this, so I want her to be able to chime in on both of these. Listen, I understand. I've seen the database. Over the last 20 years, 764 Republicans, it's actually 50 years, have been accused of some sort of child involvement that is illegal. And so have Democrats. This is not a left and right problem, assholes. This isn't a Catholic problem. This is a Jew problem. This isn't a plumber problem. It's not an attorney problem. It's a sick, disgusting human being problem. And if you diddle kids, you don't deserve the right to life. You surrender your right to life, because life, liberty, and pursuit of happiness, I'm pretty sure means not getting sexually violated by a disgusting piece of shit human being. I'm pretty confident. This is a guy in Maryland, and I'll tell you about his political affiliation in a second.
Anyway, you're the head of the LGBTQ Dems in Maryland. Okay. How long have you been in that position for?
Since fall.
Since fall, okay. Is that like a paid position? Okay, it's just more of a volunteer type thing. Is it like a super PAC or something, or is it just okay? This stuff said here, like, you know, I want to rape you. I want to see how much of a faggot you are. What was kind of said about that?
I hope you try to get away once I start fucking you.
Yeah.
I like the fantasy, and he seemed to enjoy it. And I didn't know this person, and I never intended to meet him. Do you think that's appropriate though? Like, No, of course. No, of course not.
I mean, here we said it's okay if you want to jerk off looking at it, talking about your dick. And you said, stop by this morning so I can stretch your hole, faggot.
Yes.
Can't wait to make you my little And this was later that, or shit, 4 days later with no response. Can't wait to make you my little cum dump, baby boy. Okay. Anyway.
Jesus.
Dude, quickly. Sexual fantasy, that ain't sex. Okay? Now, you want to go hump a goat? You can go ahead and say that that's sexual fantasy if you want. You can do that. There are people who have who are in love with automobiles and are sexually attracted to automobiles. Okay, great. You can say that. That's not sex. That is a mental disorder. Yep. Okay? You've got a fucking problem with your head. If you want to go ahead and hump a 67 Buick, you like fatties, by the way, you got a problem. If you jerk off or fantasize about a child in any way, shape, or form, you don't get to go ahead and sit back and say, oh, no. Wait, it's just a fantasy. No, you're a pedo. Because here's the one thing we know about sexual violators is that it starts with fantasy, and then fantasy isn't good enough. So you go out and do it for real when the opportunity's there. And the reason, and I truly believe this, just like homicidal maniacs, the only reason you haven't killed before is because you haven't had the opportunity. And the only reason you haven't raped a child is because you haven't had the opportunity. But if the opportunity presents itself, you are a danger to society. Okay? This circumvents political party. I don't give a shit that he's a Democrat. That guy's a sick fucker, and he needs to go to prison. And he needs Bubba to end his existence right quick. Amy, go ahead.
So first, oh God, about the Chrissy Teigan stuff or whatever her name is, Chrissy Teigan. I saw those tweets, I don't know, maybe 3 or 4 weeks ago, and went down a rabbit hole because she's not the only one. There's like a whole group of them, and and they would have these coded conversations like this online through tweets, and it was completely disgusting. And I don't know why she's not being called out for it. Like, why is this not a mainstream news story? I don't know.
She's a lefty.
She is a filthy, disgusting human waste of skin, in my opinion.
Yep.
Also, this guy, I think he's the guy that I don't know him personally. I've seen his work before. I think he's completely self-funded. He does this. Is this the same guy? He's self-funded. He like literally does. It's like him and one other guy that they have this whole operation. They try to get help from local police departments. They travel the country to catch these people.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes
I want to do it so bad.
Yeah, sometimes there's like absolutely nothing they can do other than show their faces because they're not breaking any laws for wherever they are, but they're confronting these people. And I think he's doing amazing work, and I forget his name. But he's an amazing human. And again, he's like completely self-funded. So he needs donations too, big time. He's amazing. And I hope that he can bring more light to this. We need more people like him to shed light on these disgusting people who are predators. And it is prevalent, and tying it back into all this internet crap and kids and all this. I am open about sheltering my kids. I always have been. They're pretty significantly sheltered. I can't control everything that they do because they are not with me 24/7, or they would be much more sheltered than they are. But this is also part of the reason. I will probably never let them have a social media account until they're adults at this point. I mean, maybe I'll change my mind, but I'm literally terrified of something happening to my children. I really am. So
Amy Stancombe just dropped a comment from a movie that I was just about to bring up.
Yeah.
God's children are not for sale.
Right.
Real quick, back on the Chrissy Teigen thing. That's just proof that you can be a good-looking model, actress, whatever, and still suffer from a mental illness and still have a social media following. That's just proof of that. In terms of what we just watched, Matt's point, it doesn't matter if you have an R or a D on your hat. You need to self-subtract yourself from the gene pool. I have to be very careful about what I say. I know somebody who's going through this right now, and I very, very desperately want to help. I'm just going to leave it there.
No, it's fine. You have to be careful. This is James Gunn. I said Peter Gunn, but Peter Gunn was a musician from my time. Howard the Duck. But this is James Gunn. These are photographs that he took with Easter Bunny dressed up as like a priest and prepubescent girls. These were all over his platform. This got him fired from Disney. Here's some of the tweets that he put down, just so everyone understands. I like it when little boys touch me in my silly place. My new film, Jerkaloosa Small Town, where beating off is illegal. One high school kid jerks off in front of others to show how fun it is. 3 men and a baby they had sex with. Eagle Snatches Kid is what I call it when I get lucky. The Hardy Boys, The Mysteries of What If feels like when Uncle Bernie fists me. The Expendables was so manly, I effed the shit out of the little pussy boy next to me. The boys are back in town. There's hundreds of them. And of course, he got away with this by simply saying, hey, I was kidding. 10,000. Yeah. 10,000 tweets. 10,000 he deleted. This fucking guy is working for Disney. And they rehired him after they fired him. And he did Guardians of the Galaxy 3. And I did a show on this prick 2 years ago. And a lot of you probably remember. I know Amy probably does.
But yet they won't rehire Gina Carano.
Right, because she said something that was actually true. This is what happened in 1940 Germany and started off with censorship. And I don't know what to tell you, folks. I can tell you this, is that I couldn't do that job of catching peds. Because I would catch one and then I'd spend the rest of my life in prison. What happened to me, I got a lot of hate in my heart. And a lot of people are like, you got to let that shit get. No, I don't.
Not for that. That's the one offense. That is the one fucking thing that if I found out that was living next door to me or somewhere in my city, that would land me in jail.
Liv, can you tell them the story in Texas, in Houston, the neighborhood?
Gosh. Okay, so we were all pretty close in our neighborhood, in our cul-de-sac.
Pretty close?
We were all very, very, very close. And
like family.
Yeah.
Like I'll fly my daughter 2,000 miles out to you alone because I know she's going to be safe when she gets there type family. Mm-hmm. Like this is the type of how close we were and still are to this day.
And that family, there was another family next door, and the second family was godparents to the first family's kids. Well, they were building a house. The second family is building a house somewhere else. And so they put the house up for sale. And it sold real quick. Turns out that one of the people moved in was on the sexual registry for sexual predator registry.
That is the worst neighborhood possible for this guy to move into.
And it, like wildfire, just blew up. And I mean, people were pissed at this second family for allowing these people to buy the house. And it actually ended the friendship, and they cut them off from the kids, and they're no longer the godparents of the kids. That's how bad it was. And I don't want that in my neighborhood, but you can't really control who buys your home. Unfortunately, I've sold enough of them. I'm sure you know that, Amy. We've sold enough of them where I can't control who buys my house, what they did in their spare time. It's not my fault. Yeah, it's not my fault, unfortunately. But I think what it was is the people who bought the house is they let the friend moved in, and it was the friend who was on the registry. We ended up, the boys of the neighborhood, the Cuban mafia, ended up
I was a
him.
part of it because I was a part of it because I was an honorary Cuban.
They ended up confronting him one night.
What happened was, everyone reached out to me and they said, we can't find anything. This is all sealed. And I said, give me 10 minutes. So I made a couple phone calls and called some friends of friends, and I got this guy's entire history downloaded and every what the offense was, what it was about. He was 19, she was 13.
Oh, God.
It's unacceptable, right? I don't care. It's unacceptable. Said he was in the Air Force. He sectioned 8 out of the Air Force. Ooh. So he was a head case. So they rolled him 6 weeks in a boot. I found out everything. So my buddy Virgil's like, I'm going across the street. It's a fucking 105-degree night. I mean, I literally could take a Bowie knife and cut a donut out of the air. It's so thick. If you've never been to Houston, basically the mosquitoes are laying in the lounge chairs smoking cigars.
Oh, they're huge.
And they talk to you when you walk by.
Seriously, they're like this big.
So anyway, and Virgil goes, he's home. And I said, dude, we don't want to go over there. You know what's going to happen. And he's like, you showing up? You coming with me? I'm like, fuck. So I grabbed my gun. Yep, grab my gun, of course, because it's Texas. And put it at my back, and Virgil is 6'3", like 265, 270.
He's a big boy.
And I'm 6'4", and I was 3.5%, 4% body fat. I was in the just absolute peak physical condition. Outside of my back surgery. So this is when I was, doing O-rings and doing handstands on rings and shit. So I just slowly walk up, and he doesn't even see me, and I just creep up behind him, and the guy who I was with, V, goes, what's your, who are you? Blah, blah. And he's like, I'm not letting him come outside. And he's like, you better let him come out fucking side, or I'm going to go in, or we're going to go in and get him. And the guy's like, oh yeah, who's we? And I said, he means me. And he turns around like, what the fuck? Where did this guy come from? And I'm like, yeah, we're pretty sneaky. And I said, you need to get your friend out here. The one who says he was in the Air Force, and we need to have a conversation with him. I found out, I did a background research on the buyer, and he had $750,000 in embezzlement that he stole from auto dealerships. And older people would make investments, and I had his entire shit. And I'm like, let me explain something. There's two things that are gonna. And Virgil did his talking, and then I said, now I'm gonna say something, fucko, and you're gonna shut up and not talk to the both of you. We have children here, and I'm gonna let you know something. If you even fucking look at my children, I swear to Christ, I'm going to drop this file in the FBI and tell them where you're fucking at. And then you're going to go to prison for a hell of a long time because of the embezzlement and everything else that you are wanted for. And you're working under an assumed name, which is against your probation. The second thing is that if anything happens to anyone, I swear to fucking Christ, I will feed you to the gators and they will never find your bodies. And Virgil and I just made a pact with this guy. And he's like, I swear to God, this was my niece. I was young, I was stupid, and I said, I don't fucking care. Right. I don't want to hear your story. Our kids are not yours to look at. They're not to talk to. you don't come over and borrow a cup of sugar. You stay in your fucking home. You get in your garage, in your car. You open your garage. You drive to work. You come home. I don't want to see you in the front yard. I don't want to see you anywhere. You stay in the backyard. You stay the fuck. Oh, this guy never came out. I had never seen either of them in their front yard. But that's first of all, that's Texas. But I don't play around with that shit. Those people should not be allowed to live in suburbs. They should not be allowed to live anywhere near children. The fact that we have to tolerate that shit and live with these fucking people, no way. Sorry for the long story, but it's unacceptable to me. And I'll be honest with you, I would do whatever I could to get those people to move out, slashing tires, cutting fucking AC hoses, ripping off shingles in their house so it floods. I would be the most sadistic son of a bitch to get that person to move out and make their life living hell. Every time that they cross the street, their life would be hell.
I'll tell you some tricks, but offline.
But could you share those?
Offline.
Put those in chat, will you, Amy? Amy, you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying. I mean, and no cop. The constables in Tomball, Texas, they know us. They're the ones who are figuring out how to get this guy a ticket every fucking day he gets in his car. I mean, these guys are like, we're going to get his license suspended. We're going to get him driving drunk. We'll follow him around. We'll just, you don't understand. Texas boys, it's a different world. I mean, you should have seen what happened during Harvey when the news reporters came in and tried to take advantage of people whose homes were flooded and damaged. We put F-250s and blocked the two entrances and had ARs. And they stood there. And when those freaking news vehicles came in, man, they had those ARs at post, 5 or 6 guys. And we're like, you ain't fucking coming into our neighborhood and taking advantage of these people. If you're here to help your first aid, your National Guard, come on in. But you're no news, no media. And Texas doesn't screw around. It is a completely different world in Texas. There's like 49 states and then there's Texas. Greatest place in the world to live. I love it.
George Bush said, don't mess with Texas. He wasn't joking.
Yeah.
I used to think, you'd laugh when I hear him, but now that I've lived there, no, don't mess with Texas. It really, you don't want to.
People are like, that's against the law. It's Texas.
Is it though? Is it?
Yeah. Is it? You just don't understand. Texas is a completely different animal. And if you have a chance, live there. Now the weather is interesting. But overall, some of the best people you'll ever meet. And it's very much like Virginia. Virginia is that way too. And not with the breaking of the law, but the camaraderie and the neighbor support is pretty incredible. It really is. All right, folks, 1 minute. I want to go watch a hockey game. Leroy, go.
Great show. I'm really looking forward to the debate. I will be on this Thursday. I think the idea that what Matt was talking about with the red and the green cards, I think we need to bring that to life. I will be on Saturday. I am slated to be out of town next week, so that might be kind of sketchy, but I will make sure that I'm available for Saturday. That's all I have.
Whatever you can do, buddy. Don't push yourself. Quickly, my 1 minute is I want to thank the 100 and dude, Twitter, incredible. 130 people on Twitter. Thank you guys and girls. Please like. If you haven't, please follow us on Twitter. If you guys, when we post something, we're trying to get out there. The one thing we hear is, I don't understand why you guys aren't huge. I don't understand why you guys aren't like, you're one of the best shows. You guys you're real, you're authentic. I don't know, y'all. So help us out. Help us get there. We're getting bigger. We're drinking milk. There's no doubt. Amy, then Livy.
Same. Just so glad to see so many people on. So thanks for joining tonight. I will be here Wednesday and Thursday as well. I can do Saturday, but can you send me the details? Because I don't know.
No, I'll send everybody the details. Yeah. All we're going to do is watch Primary Colors. We're watching a movie and we're going to talk about it and stuff. Yeah, we're going to watch Primary Colors together.
John Travolta?
Yeah.
What time is it on Saturday? I'm just curious.
12 o'clock. 12 to 2. And we're going to watch. So the DUMclub.com. We do this every month. We usually talk, but this month we're going to watch Primary Colors, and it's about time. So, stop on by, join the club. Folks, appreciate your donations. Appreciate you helping us out. We're at 3805. Keep helping us out. We love it. Go buy some shirts and hats. We got some great stuff. By the way, a new thing that Printful added is that I can add coffee mugs, tank tops, hoodies, T-shirts, anything I want, all in one shot. So instead of me having to create a SKU for each one, I just put a design up and it's going to create everything. I'm going to do all that. So it's coming. Yes, we're going to have visors. People have been asking those, tank tops, all that. We're going to get a lot more stuff. So hang tight. Going to work on the shop. Hopefully this weekend. It's a working weekend for us. Let's go watch the hockey game. God bless. See you Thursday night. See you tomorrow, 7 o'clock. Got it?
Night, y'all.
Good night, everybody.
Night.
Oh, Liv, you got a minute. Go.
I was just going to say thanks for the donations tonight and everyone's support. And I will not be here tomorrow, but I'll definitely be here on Thursday and should be here probably Friday.
Are you got your hair thrown over to the side?
I do.
Are you trying to? Oh.
If you need if you need a wingman tomorrow, I can be made available for that, Matt.
No, Olivia and I will do that by ourselves. Dominic is invited. Three's a crowd, bro. Four's a crowd. No, would love to have you tomorrow night, man. That's great. And let's chat about it. And appreciate it. Thanks everybody for watching. We appreciate you. Thank you so much for watching the Donut Family Show. God, I can't believe we still have almost 200 people on, and I'm leaving. That's just like, what am I doing? Good night, everybody. God bless.
Hey, y'all.
Love you guys.
See ya.
This is the Don't Unfriend Me Show with your hosts, Matt, Leroy, Amy, Olivia, and Mike. Geopolitics, military analysis, and election coverage. Coming to you live on the Spreely.tv network and all major social media channels at The DUM Show. Honest, direct, unfiltered. We can agree, we can disagree. Just don't unfriend me.